Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Build in Digital Micro Conference, looking at innovation in the architecture, engineering, construction industries. The AEC industry is undergoing a rapid change due to the adoption of new technologies such as 3D printing, AR, VR, machine learning, digital twins, BIM, and drones. These innovations offer opportunities for improving design, construction, and operation of buildings and infrastructure, as well as addressing challenges such as material costs, labour shortages, inflation, and sustainability. The industry is expected to grow significantly in the next few years, driven by the demand for more efficient, resilient, and green solutions. This morning's micro conference will explore some of the trends and also challenges and opportunities that are shaping the industry in 2024 and beyond. I'd like to introduce Francesca Lofiego, who is a digital construction manager at ISG, who is talking innovation in digital technology and overview. Francesca, you're free to share your screen.
Good morning, everyone. I am Francesca Lofiego, and today I want to discuss a bit about digital in construction, as I work for ISG, as I mentioned before, and we are a construction company. So I work as a digital construction manager for ISG. A bit of my background: I graduated in architecture in Italy. I also got a master in architecture conservations, and then I decided to move to the UK for another master in building information modeling in Bristol. I then started working with WSP as an architectural assistant, and then moved to London to work for Pollard Thomas Edward. They are an architectural practice. And in 2021, I started working with ISG as a BIM coordinator first, and then digital construction manager. About ISG, we are a dynamic construction service company. We employing over 2,800 people around the world, especially around the UK, Europe, Middle East, and Asia. And we operating across 24 countries. Our vision is to become the world's most dynamic construction services company, delivering places that help people and business thrive. At ISG, we have three main departments: fit out, construction, and engineering services. We also work within 5 sectors: offices, technology, science and health, retail, hospitality and leisure, and education and public sector. As a digital construction manager, I specifically work for the fit out department. So what digital construction mean for ISG, and what is building information modeling? Probably most of you know that BIM is not a tool, BIM is a process, and this process needs to be implemented throughout all the RIBA stages, from stage 0 to stage 7. You can find benefits implementing BIM at the very start of the project, understanding which are the requirements, the digital requirements of the project, from a client perspective, and then also from a consultant perspective, and then going to stage 2, 3, 4, and 5, also from a contractor perspective. And then at handover, the client absolutely sees the benefits of having a BIM project, and having also the possibility of managing the data of the project in a very smooth way and useful way, as we all know, the BIM process provide, of course, a 3D model, but also a lot of data attached to the model. And this data will be used using during the handover phase, but also and mainly using during the use of the building. So building information modeling, as we said, is a process, but it is also related to a 3D environment. When we talk about 3D environment, we mean that all the stakeholders are involved into this process, providing not only BIM documents, but also, of course, a 3D model. So we have BIM models coming from the architects, from the engineers, from the M&E engineers, structural engineers, and in ISG, as we are a construction company, these models arrive to us during stage 4 or 5, and this model get basically converted into a more developed model. So the level of detail raise, and if probably in the architectural model we only had some general walls or some general furniture, the stage 5 model, of course, is way more developed. All the walls, for example, have the specific thicknesses, specific types. The furniture are directly created from the manufacturer in a 3D environment. And what we do, we coordinate together all these models, having one only source of truth. And the main benefits is that by coordinating these models in pre-construction, we manage to solve a lot of problems, a lot of coordination problems. And of course, these resolution help the construction team a lot to prevent any type of issues during the construction phase. As a digital construction manager, I implement new technologies. The R&D part of my job is quite important because we always try to find new software, new solutions that streamline all our workflows. Of course, we produce BIM standards, BIM documents and templates. We help the coordination, the clash detection, and we also help a lot our site teams, supporting them on site every day directly from the site office. As I said, BIM is also very important throughout the end of the project when we provide also asset data, asset register, COBie spreadsheet. And part of my role is also to make sure that at ISG we maintain the BIM certification. So looking at the more technical aspect, these are some of the software that we use in ISG. Today, I want to describe 3 software in particular, Revizzo, OpenSpace, and Microsoft HoloLens. So Revizzo has launched almost 3 years ago the Plus version, where the clash detection is embedded. And I think the software has really streamlined all our processes. We cut time and cost almost by 50%. And all the stakeholders are involved. They all have access to the software. Under the issue tracker, we have a list of all the clashes where whoever can input their comments. So it's a very user-friendly environment and very collaborative as well. As we work in fit out, we most of the time arrive into the project when the building is already built. So we always need a survey. So we have this point cloud, and having the possibility of loading this point cloud into Revizzo help us a lot, especially because this point cloud, as you can see from the video, doesn't have any problems. The software doesn't have any glitches. Whichever is the size of the point cloud is not a problem. And actually, Revizzo has also the possibility of running clash test with the point cloud itself. The reporting part is also very important, especially for the management team, because they usually don't look at the technical aspects, but they want the results. So these diagrams get generated automatically, and these are shared with the management team every week, just to give a state of the project from a BIM perspective. The other software is OpenSpace. OpenSpace allows you to record images from site with this camera put on the top of the helmet. We do our recording every week, and the images get uploaded to the software, to the platform, where you can see the progression on site remotely, wherever you are, whenever you want. And you can also compare the site condition to the model. OpenSpace has also recently launched OpenSpace Track using AI and using the images recorded from site. You can basically understand what has been built on site and what still needs to be built. It gives you a percentage of how much the project has been built. Just to give an example, 80% of the wall have been built, so we still need to build the 20% left. And it also compared the progress with the program. So the software is not only very useful for the BIM team, but it's very useful also for the construction managers and for the planners. The last software or tool I want to describe today is Microsoft HoloLens. We have implemented the HoloLens in one project in particular. Of course, we found a lot of benefits, especially because you can basically project your model directly into the construction site. And the helmet with this computer mounted on top of the helmet basically show you all the critical areas of the project. It's very easy to find clashes working in the construction site. And it's also easy to find solutions because you have everything in front of your eyes. It's not a 3D environment, it's a live environment. So I'm sure you can understand the benefits. And the video just show you how you can basically place the model at the same level and in the same location as per the construction site using these QR codes that are automatically generated by the software. My last slide today is a slide about Women in BIM. I am the regional lead for London. Women in BIM is a networking group. It's open to every gender. We organize events in the UK during the year. We have a lot of networking opportunities, and probably our most important event is the mentor scheme. The mentor scheme is a way Women in BIM uses to support and help women in the industry, because unfortunately we know that the construction industry is a very man-dominated world, but we want to convert this world into a gender-neutral world. So with the mentor scheme, men and women can join the mentor scheme as a mentor, and we support a lot of not only young women in the industry with their career, with their problems, and the scheme lasts 6 months from June to December. If you want to apply to the mentor scheme, we opened the application around March. We have already started for this year. But if you want to get engaged with us, please feel more than welcome to visit our website or also our LinkedIn page, so you can also join all our events. Thank you very much. Here is my email if you want to ask me any questions, and also the ISG website. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Francesca. A really, really good account of some of the different technologies that you're using on site. The Microsoft HoloLens particularly sounds really cool. So is that augmented reality then? Does that plant stuff over what you're seeing?
Yes, mixed reality, because
So
you have in front of your eyes with the real dimensions.
Excellent. So is that basically Google Lens? But obviously Microsoft.
Google Lens is very similar, but it's provided by Google. The one we tried is the Microsoft product.
Got you. Brilliant. Right, I'll open it to questions. Have we got some questions for Francesca, please? Feel free to raise your hand, introduce yourself.
I can start off if you like. So that was really interesting. And I had the fortune to meet you as well at the Women in BIM London conference. So that was great. And I must admit, for anyone who's thinking about it, please do go ahead and be a mentor, because it's one of the best events I've ever been to when it comes to collaboration. So that was my first point, which wasn't really a question. But my question really is to go like one step further from your presentation. What do you see in the future of sort of BIM? How do you see BIM enrolling with advancements in AR and VR technologies? Because obviously it's going to go further and further. And I just wondered to get your opinion on that, really.
Sure, very interesting question. Thank you, Gillian. So I think that technology is the future of architecture, engineering, and construction. So I hope that little by little, all the companies, and not only the big companies, but also the smaller companies, will be able to join this journey. AI is one of the hot topics. As ISG, for example, we are already implementing AI. Open space, as I showed you, is an example. But there are so many other ways to use the AI, especially when we talk about model checking and model reviewing. What we are trying to implement is a workflow that help us to streamline processes, especially when it comes to repetitive tasks. Especially for architects, I think there are platforms and softwares, add-ins for Revit, for example, that are able to quickly create all the drawings you need, all the templates that you need, and all these very sometimes boring tasks can be done very quickly using the AI. And this means that we will have a lot more time to focus on design, to focus on new software, to focus on our soft skills that are always very important. So I think that this is the direction where we need to go, and where some companies are already trying to aim to. We have also talked about digital twin. That, in my opinion, this means having information related to a 3D model and use the information in a very useful way. And probably we would like to see a bit more involvement with the clients from this point of view, because the client is the last user of this model and of this data. So if clients are involved into the process and know the benefits of implementing a digital twin, for example, we will see things changes. Because if it's the client that is driving this requirement, of course, we as industry, we are obliged to follow the client's requirement. So we need to find a way to implement technologies.
That's good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sega, would you like to introduce yourself and then ask
Yes,
your question, please?
my name is Saga Verbal. I work for Chetwood Architects. I am digital strategy coordinator and head of the digital elements within Chetwoods. My question is, in terms of tenants, how, I know you said the tenants drive the adoption of technology and the handover, and also they have something in mind that they want at the end of the project. And in that sense, it gives me the confidence that they know exactly what they need in terms of information and models at the end of the handover. But for those tenants who aren't really educated on that side, I'm sure you have a variety of tenants, some who don't really mind how you get to the process or what your process is to get to the end goal, and some who are very much involved in that process. But for those who aren't, how do you deal with that situation, if that makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the question.
Thank you.
So as you said, it depends on the client. Sometimes we have clients that are well educated on technologies. An example is Google. We are now working for the new office and their data requirements are crazy. But that is good for us because at least we know that we are talking with a client that is absolutely competent in this sector. Regarding clients who probably have no experience with technologies, I think that we need to provide BIM as an additional service, but we also need to show clients what are the benefits, especially in the long term, and especially doing the operation and maintenance of the building. Another way is to combine the benefits of BIM in terms of sustainability, I think. Nowadays, a lot of companies really want to help the environment and make sure that their office work very well from a sustainability point of view. We know how BIM and the BIM implementation, the BIM software, the BIM process help the sustainability aspects. So the combination of technology and sustainability probably is something that the client is interested into. And one last probably tip is to try to speak a very basic language with clients who are not really technology educated, because if we start telling them, but we can provide COBie spreadsheet, we can use this specific software, unfortunately, and it's absolutely understandable, they cannot understand what we are talking about. So speaking a common language, I think, also helps a lot.
Thank you very much. Yeah, because what I found is that for the clients that we work with, is the developer that drives BIM, and they're the ones that invest in BIM. But the tenants, sometimes we know who the tenants are, and sometimes we don't. So even though we've gone through the process of delivering BIM and also providing, I think, information for COBie, it's very difficult then to know who the tenants are at the end of that project, and have all this data which isn't being used. But then you have tenants who we know who they are, however, don't know how to use it, and which is an additional service and an additional process. So it's understanding how we can get involved and help them understand that data, and also use that data really usefully for their own benefits and after their assets while they're tenants of that building.
Absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Francesca. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Excellent. Have we got any more questions for Francesca, please?
Yeah, I've got one, if you don't mind, Francesca. Thank you for the presentation. It's really, really insightful. I know, looking at ISG, there is a tier 1 organization in the AC industry. The depth of softwares that you have in the business is quite large, and obviously the technology as well. Do you work directly with the developers of said technologies and softwares to help push ISG to the sort of next level to meet client requirements, or even echelon past that to over exceed the client requirements with new technologies and software on the market?
Yes, thanks, Darren. The answer is yes, we have that luxury. Good for ISG. I can give you an example with, again, Revito and Open Space. We directly talk to them, to their developers, to make sure that they help ISG to kind of shape the software in a bespoke way for ISG. If we have, of course, also any issues, we get in contact with them. If we find something that they could improve, we have meeting more or less every 3 months, where we read our wish list and hoping that at some point Revito, for example, will implement what we have requested. So yes, absolutely. And I think it's also very important, because at least it's important for ISG, so we can have a very good product, but I think it's important also for the product owners to listen to what companies really want to get out of the products, so at least they can better develop it.
Thank you, Darren. I'm just going to follow on for a little bit from what Darren said there, Francesca, because obviously ISG are embracing technology, digital transformation. There is a whole ecosystem of emerging disruptors, micro SMEs, tech startups, And I just wonder if there's anything that you didn't mention in your presentation, anything that you've seen or been presented to or been privy to that's really exciting, emerging technology that you see being a game changer in the future, or something that you've seen that, like I say, is kind of got you excited as a technologist, that might not be here right now but could be here within the next 10 years. Give us an insight into the future, Francesca.
Yeah, I think that it is something that a lot of companies are working on, but is not available yet. And it is a way to streamline processes even more, to cut times and cost even more. And I think it is the implementation of AI to the clash detection, meaning that instead of spending hours reviewing all the clashes, the AI can do that for you. And I can see how much ISG, but also any other construction company, architectural company, can benefit from it. I think AI in general, the AI implementation in general, it's something that all the companies, construction companies, product provider are of course looking at. In terms of what we do in ISG as the big digital team, I think that the resolution of clashes through AI is what we are waiting for. And we know that there are companies that are already thinking about it.
Excellent. Right, so let me move on to a quick summary of our three keynote presentations this morning. First up, we heard from Darren Meads at Brixis, who explained how the Brixis software can work with your organisation, taking you through the main workflow and the benefits of how Brixis software compares to other BIM systems. Questions that Darren answered came from Francesca, who talked about automated and manual actions that are both needed to create the BIM model or outcomes required. Charlie asked about the mechanical benefits of the software, which needs more explanation offline. Finally, Darren finished off with the adoption of BIM in the wider industry through the supply chain, which seems to be slowly happening, and it's like going from a Samsung phone to an iPhone. Nice kind of layman's analogy for my benefit there, Darren. Secondly, we had Francesca at ISG. Francesca started with diving in with the innovation on the digital technology side, explaining how BIM is not a tool, it's a process. She also explained how she works with BIM at ISG, some exciting tech in using the open space tool, real-time images, which is a really big step forward in using a Google map of the buildings, which highlights problems you might not see otherwise. Francesca then talks about the future tools, and how the future lies in collaboration, linking to her being a regional head for London for Women in BIM, and how obviously that is a great collaboration organisation and opportunity for anyone of any gender to join and attend. And then finally, we heard from Don. Don's the CEO of IES. Don specifically looking at digital twins, about performance, how they can obviously help to decarbonize environment in buildings. Don's presentation was fairly broad. We went through the challenges and the benefits of using digital twins into new and retrofitting buildings. The population problem is is the overarching reason why we need more buildings and need to retrofit existing buildings. Obviously, there's a consideration of modern residents in order to get to this net zero goal in 2050. Obviously, we need government buy-in and to actually support that. Don touched on some wider issues within decarbonisation, but the main point Don would make is that IES can do what they can do, but obviously collaboration and working with partners is essential. All companies in construction need to collaborate as well as the government to make that their main goal. That was today's micro conference. Thank you very much to our three keynote speakers. Thank you very much for everyone who attended, and we hope to see you at a future micro conference. Check buildingdigital.com/micro conferences for our full list of online events for the next 12 months or so. Thank you again. Appreciate you all attending, and hope to see you at a future event.